here's the key, take the key, take the key. And you know, it's like you're in a prison, right? You know, you're in your own little prison of the mind or whatever, and I'm just like, here, take the key, take the fucking key. Hey everybody, this is Marwan, your brand strategist and founder of ManuFracture. Today we're going to talk about something different, or actually tonight. It's actually 2 a.m., 3 a.m. here. I don't know. My sleep schedule is actually really screwed up lately because I'm trying to take client calls in different time zones, and so that's not working out very well for my sleep schedule at all. But that is happening. So hustle hard, hashtag hustle hard, or whatever the hell it's called, right? Anyway, today, something on my mind in regards to motivation, and especially kind of the gap between motivation and like motivation, like the person motivating the person, and the motivatee, so to say, the person who needs to get motivated. It's almost like it comes down to this, really. It's like you have a motivator, or somebody who's motivated, who has so much energy in them, and they really want to say whatever it is they want out into this world. You know, you have people like Gary Vaynerchuck, Tony Robbins, Tom Bilyeu, all these different types of people, and they're really good motivators. I mean, really. But the thing is, the best motivators are the ones who take the most action, which is very interesting to me. It's kind of you kind of see a pattern, because they're so enamored or kind of mystified or passionate, you know, about their own things that they've accomplished and the own things that their actions have brought to fruition, that they themselves want to speak that truth into the world, and they want to motivate people to do the things that they set out to do, right? They see the light, so to say, and they want to bring people to it, right? Because a lot of people in their lives, people go through life and they don't actually do what they want to do. You know, there's many reasons, right? Fear of failure, people thinking of what, you know, they think of them. You know, societal standards. I mean, there's a bunch of reasons, really. But it all comes down to usually, you know, not taking action on those things. And there's a group of people, and you kind of realize this after you start doing stuff, you realize there are a lot of people head down, sad, and not actually doing anything and executing. And you wonder, why is it? When you figured it out, when you solely thought, yeah, I know how this works, or I am gonna take the steps to do this, but why isn't anybody else doing that? And it comes back to the gap between the motivator and the motivatee. The motivator knows already the way and how to do things, and is telling people, do this, you'll get here. I'm speaking here because I got here and I've seen it, okay, for myself. So please, just take the journey. And there's so many videos like that, especially from Gary and all these other people. So many videos. But I would wonder what's the percentage of the audience that actually takes action or actually understands that at a very deep level. Maybe at a surface level, they get it, right? At a surface level, they're probably thinking, oh yeah, no, I totally should do this. I totally should be working hard. I totally should be doing something towards my dreams. But there's something always that's blocking them. And I guess the whole thing is that's that gap, right? I can motivate you as much as I possibly can because I know I'm speaking my truth. I've gone through it. And right now I'm speaking my truth into this camera and through all my other videos, because I sort of would say see the light. That's a bit spiritual, but more like something like, you know, I see the reality of it, and it's a good fucking thing. It's an awesome thing if you're willing to put in the work to it, you know. And it can be really fun, but it can also be really depressing. But overall, the fun parts, the most rewarding parts of the journey and all that stuff actually show when you're actually doing it. That's the problem, right? The person actually has to do it in order to understand why the motivator is so fucking motivated. You can't understand the motivator until you actually know and you've actually gone through their path or gone something similar, right? If you've stayed up all night, have you done, called up people, have you pitched people your idea every single day? Have you, messaged people, say, hey, get on a call with me, have you closed sales? Have you had to, worry about cash flow? Had you have to worry about your clients not liking your shit or something like that? Or, your clients not liking your products, or something went wrong with the machinery, or, you're almost going bankrupt, whatever. Have you ever dealt with those things? And have you ever seen the very lows and the very highs and the middles? If you haven't seen any of that, that's kind of the gap there, because we can do all is best to motivate and push you and say, here's the key, take the key, and it's like you're in a prison, right? You're in your own little prison of the mind or whatever, and I'm just like, here, take the key, take the fucking key, and no one's taking the key because they're too enamored with their own shit and their own problems and their own mindset and their own belief systems, and because of that, they do not take the key. They're always, oh no, I'll take the key later, or oh, that sounds good, the key sounds good, but maybe I'll do something else, I'll save it for later, right? And so you can see all these guys, they go every single day because they want to preach this message every single day. They go to speaking events to do this thing every single day in hopes that 1 or 2 or 3 people actually take the action that was said to be put on there, right? Instead of actually saying, oh no, we had a great motivational high, and then that's it, right? So that's really the gap between the motivator and the motivatee, right? It's kind of where, the practitioner knows, because he's been in this, he knows the struggles, the ups and downs, whereas the person who hasn't just yet to get started can feel incredibly intimidated. Another very interesting thing about this is that this sort of dynamic about the motivator and the motivatee kind of bridges into a completely different psychological concept called the hero's journey in Jungian philosophy. And in the hero's journey, the hero is a person who is in complacency, right? Somebody who's not doing anything, complacency. And what they aren't doing is they're not, doing or challenging themselves or whatever. One day something comes and takes them out of that, or forces them to take that journey. And once they take that journey, they are met by, these different people. They go through the journey and they go and finally slay the sort of, metaphorical dragon, right? It could be, getting rid of, your boss or something, or, telling people to, finally, beating your I don't know, whatever. It's just, it's a metaphorically, you're slaying your dragon or your biggest fears. Usually it's your biggest fears, meaning your own internal self, right? So it's not usually an outside source. It's you, your internal self, and the problems that you have, and you have to overcome them yourself, your internal demons. And once you fight that dragon, so to say, slay that dragon, so to say, you get the Holy Grail. And the Holy Grail is really the realization that the journey was so much better than the Holy Grail or the actual object that you get, right? And it's usually how, I feel, especially sometimes, about how I run my business. Over time, you get small little rewards, but those small little rewards are nice little milestones, right? Your first sale, your second sale, maybe you increased your revenue, whatever, right? But those are small compared to what you've done and how you've gone through things to get there, and who you've actually become to get there, right? And so getting back to the point of the motivator and the motivatee, the person who has done that, has gone through the hero's journey. These are the people like Gary, these are the people like Tom, these are the people like Tony. They've gone through the hero's journey. They come back to the village, right? These people, back to the village, the people, the audience that they have, and they speak out. They want to bring back that knowledge, right? They want to speak their truth, and they want to bring back that knowledge. And people aren't listening to them because they're fine the way they are. They're so complacent, so they don't care, and they don't know yet. And that's kind of the dilemma here, and it's kind of repeats itself over and over again. And so how does the cycle continue? Again, you may be asking yourself. Well, the cycle continues after the so-called mentor, or the so-called person who's achieved the Holy Grail, so to say, sees another person trying to go on their hero's journey. And you can see that a lot in, even Gary's videos, right? He's teaching other people, hey, you need to do this, or hey, you need to do that, right? He's there to help them along. He becomes the mentor, that there was another mentor in his life that became his mentor to move him through the hero's journey. So it's very circular in that matter. And maybe this is just how it's supposed to be, but perhaps there's a better way to bridge this gap. So how can we actually bridge a gap in that understanding, right? And that's kind of why I also want to do these type of videos and all these type of videos every single day. Well, not every single day, every single week. I don't know what my consistency is really. It's pretty terrible. But every single week or month or whatever, I want to have a consistent sort of timeline that shows me, at least through the most main parts of my challenges, and kind of have, maybe it's like a guide or survival guide to the person that is just starting on this journey to maybe build an agency or to build a design business or whatever it is, right? Because if I push motivation out and I can't show my day-to-day actions, and even if I do show my day-to-day actions, I need to show a progression from really, really like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, to really, really, I know what the fuck I'm doing and I'm succeeding, right? And this video will probably be like, one step in a massive amount, right? Until I die, right? But it could be starting to maybe start bridge the gap between how you see successful people and how you see people who are just starting out, and kind of bridging those gaps together maybe can start making people to actually start to take action. And if they can start to take action, then we could have more entrepreneurs or more business people or more, people in general who can take action and do the things they want to, whether it be entrepreneurship or not, into the world. And more people can kind of see the light, so to say, that they don't need to do a 9-to-5, that they don't need to settle for things that they think they need to. So that's really it. That's what I wanted to say. And I'm gonna go to sleep now because it's really late. But if you want to subscribe for more content, just notifications, sub box, whatever, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. See ya. Bye.